Well, I decided to spend another day in the shop working on a new truck, the replacement truck. My Duramax was stolen in December, recovered in January, and luckily, because of the pricing of trucks in my area, I made out like a bandit on it. But the truck that I bought to replace it is a bit of an abomination. Let me explain. Here it is. So that tire is sticking out 3 inches further than this fender fare. And I don't like that. There's a few reasons why I don't like it. One, this rim on this truck, this is a 35 by 12 and a half 17-inch wheel, which is about, I think, a 315 70 17, I think, or something like that. I don't remember exactly. But this is a 7.5-inch rim right here, 17 by 7.5. It says right there. Only also good to 2,500 pounds. It's running a 2-inch spacer, which I cannot confirm if it's hub centric or not. And I don't like these setups for many different reasons. Case in point, over here, I don't know if you can see it, but if you look at my CV axle boot, you can see just how torn that is. You can also see just how bad, well, the angles right now are bad because I do have it up on jacks, so the jacks are lifting it up right now, but that boot is completely torn. So if I want to, say, take this tire off to replace that, I have to take the tire off, and then I have to work around the spacer and all that jazz, and I don't like that. So what my plan is, I went out and I bought these 17 by 8 D-window rims. And my plan is, because I don't know anything about how this was set up, is I'm going to take off the 2 front tires and then test fit the rims, which should be fine. Those are, I think, if I remember correctly, a +6. So the rim will go in compared to as it is now. And I also may need to end up buying a spacer to kick it back out, but I won't know until I pull these tires off and get them mounted onto those rims. So what we're going to do now is get this truck up, or get these lug nuts loose, get the truck up in the air on jack stands, and then that way I can further do some more testing and checking on this. So just gonna set you up, and we're gonna take them off. Now I do have a 1/2-inch impact electric, but I have to blow it out right now. So I gotta do this by hand. Hopefully So another reason that I'm doing this for is because when I drive on the highway in this thing, around, I think it's around 95 kilometers an hour, this thing has a horrible shake. And I thought maybe dry shaft, but generally speaking, when you put tires on like this, they can be considered lug centric. So your lug nuts are going to center the rim onto the hub, but unfortunately that isn't always the case. And if your spacer isn't hub centric, then you have this, which can be out of alignment, and you have your wheels, which can be out of alignment, and then you get those shakes. So I can still very well have a drive shaft issue in this thing, under there somewhere, possibly like the front drive shaft, maybe even the back drive shaft. I don't know 100%. I could have, you know, bad suspension, but I want to get rid of this setup. So for me, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this all apart, and then we'll see, once I have the tires switched over to the front, if I still have the shake. And if I don't, then I know that that was the definitive problem. If I still end up having the shake, then I know I got to look somewhere else, figure out what's causing the shake, and then go from there. So now I'm going to take this wheel spacer off and see what happens from there. So if you see this play, all this play is what allows, even when you put your lug nuts in here, there's no guaranteeing that this is going to end up being centered. It may be close, but it won't be perfect. But because there's all this space and this movement, if it's up too high or down too low or to one side, that's where you get your vibrations. So that spacer is gone. Now we're going to test. We've got lots of clearance around the back. So you can see here, lots of clearance between here. I don't know, once we put the tire on, if there's going to be enough between this and here. I don't know, but when that was on, I think I had, if I measured from this, the side wall to here, I think it was about 4 inches. So these are a +6 if I remember correctly. So that may end up being a bit of a problem. Going to have to do some work on that, make this look all nice, give it just a quick spray paint to black. But I think from the looks of it, those are going to work well. So the way this wheel is, from the face of that there up, it's going to be sticking out about 2 inches. So we were at about 3.5, so we'll lose about 1.5 inches off there. So we will still get just a hair amount of poke of this and the tire out, but that's from the face of that. So I don't know where we will be once we put the tire on it. So we may still end up being pretty close. I don't know, but I'm going to get the other side jacked up and the tire off, and then we can go from there. I got a guy who will put these on, or will mount and balance the tires for me in a day or two. So what will seem like a few seconds for you guys will be a few days for me. So once I get these done and brought back, then I'll finish off this video and show you guys where we're at from there. All right, it's the update time. I got all tires balanced. I originally got these balanced with the weights, but they're giant, a lot of weight on there. I got these set here. These ones are balanced, but you can see there's no weights on them because I got these ones balanced with beads. So one of the issues that I was having was this truck was having some really bad vibrations driving down the road. Granted, that could be things like U-joints on the drive shafts, because I don't know when they were last replaced, and there were suspension components and stuff like that. But when I got my front tires balanced with the weights, the vibration got better. It wasn't great, but basically what I discovered was the vibrations changed in where the vibration happened in the truck. So my thinking was, because those have the weights on it and those have the beads in it, what I'm going to do today is I'm going to be putting the ones with the beads on the front and the one with the weights on the back. But the other thing that I also got to help this whole situation are these guys here, just hub-centric rings. Strangely, either these are very difficult to come by, or trying to find them in a size that will work in a truck like this is pretty tough. These are 116.7 ID by 130-ish OD, and basically what they do is they help center that rim onto your hub, like I was talking about earlier. So what I'm going to do when I'm installing these is I'm going to be installing these as well as the bead balanced tires on the back. Now, we've all seen tires being changed and swapped over a million times and all know about this stuff, so I'm not going to put you through the boring of that. Basically, I'm going to do the tires, get them all removed, switched over, the rings on, and then I'm going to take this for a drive and see where we're at. So when I'm at the point of going out for another test drive, then I'll bring you guys back and I will let you know if things have changed, if for the better or for the worse. I would like to think it'll be better. Like I said, it could still be driveline components causing some of the shake, but feeling what I felt just by getting these tires and everything else on here and how much it improved, I have a feeling that this will help too. So going to switch these over. Going to be a little bit for me to do that, but just be a few moments for you guys. So when I'm done, bring you guys back. All right, figured I'd just show you a quick interruption here. So tires on, and you can see there's no wheel weights. So this is one of the bead balanced ones. But if you notice right here, you can see there's that plastic ring sitting right there, and basically it's filling this gap. And if we go over to the other side, and you look at the same tire, you'll notice that right here is that gap, and that's what that ring fills. So it makes it sit perfect on that hub. Granted that the ring itself is manufactured true. So just a quick little interruption there to show you what that looks like. Well, you're gonna have to excuse the wind noise for a little bit. I just figured I'd get you out of the shop and take you out to some country out here. Kind of show you some Alberta skyline and cows and such, if you will, before we kind of go off. So this is my truck, 2007 Chevy Silverado Classic. The year before they changed from this style over to the new style, and at some point in the time of this truck, or these times, you can still get this truck in this body shape before they convert it. So just give you an overall view here of the truck so you can see there. So the back tires still have the weights on it, so you can see there. The front tires don't have any weights on it, as they're running the beads inside them. As I showed before, and as you can see now, look down in here, top of the control arm, I've got about a little over a thumb's width between the tires, so that's good. Tires sticking out about 2.5 inches out from the side of the fender. The back is tucked in just a hair, so I may want to fix that. But I figured before I got in the truck and took a little drive that I'd just give you an overview of the truck. So one of the issues that I have with this truck is because of the tires on it, the speedometer does not read correctly. The speedometer is out about 10 kilometers. So if I'm driving down the highway and my speedometer shows 80, I'm actually doing 90. That's because this truck stock had 16-inch tires, 245s, and it now has 35s on it, so the speedometer is out quite a bit. I do have a means and some plans coming up to fix that. Highway here. So this truck before, when I'd be doing about 50, which is where I'm at now, doing about 60, would have really bad shake, so it's gone. So we're doing 90 and it used to have a good shake. It's gone. The shifter on the floor is not vibrating nearly as much as it was. It still vibrates a little bit, but it's not as bad. You'll see here if I get up to actual speed, 90. So now we're doing about 105. Most of the shake that I'm feeling now in this thing is just because the driveline itself is out of whack and needing some repairs. Like the front drive shaft, I'm sure the U-joints are completely shot. I'm sure the rear drive shaft is completely shot with the U-joints. So it still needs a bit of work, but being able that I can drive this now on the highway and not feeling like my teeth are going to shake out of my head makes me very happy. So I can't say specifically if it was the balancing beads or the hub-centric rings, but of those two, something did help the front end of this thing. So I'm probably down the line going to get rid of the weights on the back wheels and probably also just put balancing beads in there and call this thing done. And then from there, it's just basically going to be spending some time and just doing some maintenance to this thing because it's really poorly needed. This thing's got 93,000 kilometers on it, but unfortunately, when they put the bigger tires on here, it did not, it actually broke. Well, it didn't break, but the mileage is out because everything is reading slower. So where it should be, it is not. So it's probably got over 300,000 kilometers on it. I don't know when anything was last done. So that's all going to be done. So just heading home now. Gonna shut her down and finish off the video. Well, she's done. apparently I got some truck leaks that I need to fix. So yeah, got some new wheels on the truck. I think it looks a lot better. Turns out these are just standard steel wheels, 17 by 7.5, and I did some research on these rims. Somewhere on it told me, I don't remember. They did tell me somewhere on here, they're plus 25. So when it had these plus the 2-inch spacers, these are plus 25 rims, so it was much bigger. So, well, but now truck is done. So now we get to put some miles on it and make sure everything is right. I'm just gonna do a quick torque on them, make sure that's fine. Run to the dump, come home, check the torque on them again, and probably call it good from there. So finishing off this video, I got some stuff coming up because that truck needs some stuff done. I got to fix the speedometer on it, and a couple other things. So there'll be some videos coming up on that and how I'm going to fix that, and another interesting video on its way. So for now, I'm done, and thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.